Good morning. In keeping with the work that we've done on the firewall, which I now have the firewall in the dash all wrapped in plastic, because can you imagine that Mr. Jones has something on it that we want to protect and not cut apart? So in keeping with that theory, I'm going to do some body work here on the rear windowsill. The rear glass sits right here on this channel, and this is visible through the glass. So you can always see if a car's got some water leaks, which they all do, they all did, by how funky this piece looks. So believe it or not, I'm doing some body work here. And I'm just filling some pits that were in there. I'll use some primer surfacer on that. And what Joe did is he bought some aerosol cans. It's listed as GM color 40, which is butternut yellow, same as Oldsmobile's Saffron. Because the package tray is supposed to be body color into and including the rear windowsill and trunk weather stripping channel. And then what they did is, depending on the interior color, this got color matched. In this case, it was black. So here is the remnants, a little show and tell here. Here's the remnants of the rear windowsill that was cut out of this old boy. Yeah, man, that's what we had to work with, right? So you can see that obviously yellow, black. You can even see some traces of the Saffron on the chrome trim mounting stanchions there. And I have some photographs. People can revert back to one of the videos where you can see a real kind of a haphazard tape line. It was not straight, but they did just run a tape line. It might have even been somewhere like halfway in this hole and then almost to a point on the other side. That's what was blacked out in this case. So that's my plan for the weekend. Kind of got another rain day here that I'm working through. So let me keep trucking on getting this thing trued up, get some primer on it, and then with any luck, we'll start seeing some yellow on here. I got the back of the car all bagged up here. My plan is to paint this package tray in this rear windowsill the saffron color. And this is the paint that I was telling you that Joe got made in spray cans for convenience. It is a base coat only, so we'll see if I want to put a clear on there. But just to get those mounting flanges, those wings that we fabricated out of 68s, just start making this look a little bit more cohesive here. I am going to get underneath the package tray a little bit just to paint some of that, so it looks a little bit more yellow in there. And you know, a lot of this is all going to get spatter painted in there, but I'm going to try to duplicate some of the factory style overspray underneath. And we'll get up into the sail panels a little bit, but at least when you walk in here, you won't see this menagerie of different color things. It'll start looking real. And then once this is all done, I can, you know, black out that rear windowsill. So it'll look better than it does now. All right, cool in the gang. Let's get some paint going. There it is, after only some semi-frustrating performance from the spray can. I didn't really expect much, but holding the can horizontally, it did not like that maneuver. But there we have it. There's some paint on there, and I even got underneath the package tray area. Remember, this was all rotted. This was pieces hanging down before, and there's some light overspray on the trunk springs and the insulator bumper there, and just some overspray underneath of the package tray. It was never painted, you know, like a fender underneath there. So that's how that's gonna look, and obviously we need to black out the rear windowsill still, but this has to tack up a little bit. But I'll unwrap this in a little bit. Looks a whole lot better than it did. Oh my gosh. Man, that's pretty cool, huh? That's crazy. Look at that. That's pretty crazy. We have some before and after pictures I think Joe's gonna have to put together. You know, this thing was completely and utterly rotted, man. It was totally rotted here. And old Steve-O kind of made a beautiful chicken casserole out of, you know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna keep on trucking with this. I think what I'm gonna do today is do some flat black stuff on the floors inside. Just gonna brush touch some of, you know, this all has to get cleaned up. Just gonna brush touch over some seam sealer and, you know, where the welds were and stuff. I'm gonna get some, I'll just use Rust-Oleum flat black on that. But right in here is where it has to get blacked out, and that's what I'm gonna try to work on maybe later when this tacks up a little bit. Again, never to be seen, but certainly a little bit of eye candy compared to how it has been looking for the past year. Keep on keeping on, boys. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Had a conference with the client, and we're opting to do this fun little thing. When I took the package tray out of the car, it was obvious that this was not a straight line. It was really kind of haphazardly done. It started here at the very beginning of the drip receptacle, and it went halfway in to the one over here on this side. So I gave Joe the option. Look, I can make it straight. I can tape it off perfectly. I can leave some voids here so some black might blow through like it was. And he said, you know what? Do it like it was originally. Don't make it perfect. Try to duplicate that flaw. Let's kind of recreate what we had there. So that's what I've done. I did buy some separate satin black for this. I don't want it to be semi-gloss. I don't want it to be shiny in the back because it's really not supposed to be. The dash is probably a little too shiny, but you know what? That's what everybody looks. I just want this to look nice and clean. So let's get some satin black on here, and that'll really start making it pop. I hope. This came out almost perfectly. I remember for a fact that I saw overspray lines where they taped it and they didn't really get into the valleys of these creases. And I know for a fact that it was kind of cool to say, oh wow, look, this is really how haphazardly they did it. So I didn't go too crazy taping it. I said, come on, we're on the assembly line here. We're building body shells. Do it quick. I will admit that this came out quite a bit better than I expected it to. But maybe the tape line was a little bit closer to the edge, but remember there's going to be window adhesive here because the glass sits on that ledge. And then there's chrome. You know, the chrome goes there like that. So you don't see any of that. Let's not keep messing with it. Let's just walk away from it, let it dry. This whole trunk jam will get painted later on, you know, once all this is finished. But this is cool. I really wanted to see something because we're getting to the 1 year mark for this car. October the 8th, this car rolled in this garage as a one-piece complete car. And now we're actually starting to get somewhere.